Okay, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat at welcome na naman sa isang episode ng TechSabado. Jing Garcia po ng TechSabado.com and of course, the Manila Times. Welcoming you again for another inspiring o kaya interesting episode of TechSabado. And of course, tuwing Saturday, wala tayong magkasama dito, kundi ang mga aking regular co-host dito sa programa natin. Unahin ko na, syempre, ang attorney ng bayan. Ang executive editor ng Newsbytes.ph, walang iba kundi si
Melvin Calimag po. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat.
And of course, katabi ni attorney, ayan na naman ako sa prinsipe, Tito San Pablo, Laguna, walang iba kundi ang science and tech editor ng Manila Times, si Tito.
Magandang gabi po, Tito Tribs, Raymond Tribdino. Science and Technology, Tito Tribs.
Science and Technology.
Science and Technology editor of the Manila Times, cleantechnica.com, at syempre po sa TechSabado.
Yan. Okay, gaya na sinabi ko, isa na naman magandang usapan ito. So tonight, we're looking into the controversy surrounding the LTO's Land Transportation Management System or yung tawag nilang LTMS. The LTMS was intended to modernize the LTO and replace the old STRADCOM system. But instead of making a clean transition, the LTO kept the old system running alongside the new platform developed by German firm called Dermalog. Yan ang yun po yung German company na nag-provide ng Dermalog. Things became more complicated when the LTO ended the contract with Dermalog and brought STRADCOM back into the picture. Then the Ombudsman ordered the LTO to drop STRADCOM and use the LTMS, a system the government has already paid for. But the LTO still wants to keep STRADCOM operating alongside the LTMS. So tonight, we ask, why is the LTO insisting on maintaining two systems? Why continue relying on the old platform when the government has already paid for its replacement? And what does the continuing dispute mean for motorists, government spending, and the future of LTO services? In our Saturday night discussion, we have Ms. Aida Yuvienco. Ms. Aida here has more than 30 years of experience in the ICT industry, spanning government and the private sector. She previously served as Director 4 of the DICT's Management Information System Service and DepEd's Information and Communication Technology Service. She also led the rollout of full implementation of the LTO Land Transportation Management System, yung nga tinatawag na LTMS. She is a UP Diliman Industrial Engineering graduate and former Vice President for Sales and Business Development of Bayad Center. Next is Sir Bernard Yu, na matagal na namin kasama sa tech industry, an independent IT practitioner and former Managing Director of Oracle Philippines, where he served from 1993 to 2003. He was also overall lead consultant for the LTO Land Transportation Management System rollout from 2020 and 2022. A former president of the Information Technology Association of the Philippines, Mr. Yu brings decades of experience in enterprise technology, consulting, and government IT projects. Welcome to TechSabado, Ms. Aida and Sir Bernard.
Thank you.
Good evening po.
Magandang gabi po.
Magandang gabi po sa
Haba
inyo.
nung binasa ko.
Oo, siyempre, mga veterano to mga to eh.
Kailangan alam naman na dapat malaman talaga mga tao kung sino yung mga kinakausap natin dito na hindi sila pipitsugin. Big time.
Kita mo naman yung credentials, di ba? Oo.
Mahalaga yung usapan ng credentials na yun dahil mahalaga din yung pag-uusapan.
Okay. So maybe, Aida, bumati muna tayo sa audience.
Oh yes, di pa na. Nakakabati, Jing.
Okay. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Thank you for inviting us, TechSabado, to share some light on the issues of the LTO.
Thank you, ma'am.
Again, Bernard po, again, thank you to TechSabado for inviting us to shed light on the, I'd just like to add a personal touch. When I met Melvin and
Jing
a few years ago, they were just newcomers sa IT industry.
Yes.
So I'm very amazed and proud that they are now both tech editors. So congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, sir.
You've gone a long way.
20 years ago po yun.
Yung few years na yun, 2 decades.
25 years ago.
25 years actually.
25 years na.
25 years ago.
So mahalata age natin. Kaya maybe we should not talk about it.
Jing, inabutan natin country manager ng Oracle. Si
Yeah, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
yes.
mismo.
Ang dami ng
Dami na
eh,
sumunod. Pero si Sir Bernard yung pinakamahaba. Kasi siya yung na-cover natin. Dahil lahat yun, every time, para every year nata, palitan na
Napapalitan yung mga heads.
Oo,
Yes.
siya nakasampo eh, no?
10.5 years. So
Yes,
I'm
yes.
one of the longer serving IT heads. Yes.
Anong employee number ka ba, Sir Bernard?
11.
11. Tawa ko nung sinabi mo si Jojo.
Jojo was number 1.
Sabi nga niya, zero eh. Employee zero siya.
True.
Hindi parang siya.
We're reminiscing our Oracle days. So,
Yes, okay. And shout out na rin sa PR ninyo, si Miss Jing
Jing Romero. Hi, Jing. Kumusta ka na?
The time na yun. Okay.
Yun. Okay, we go to the crux of the matter, yung the burning issues of the week, of the month, of the day.
Okay.
Sir Bernard, can you just bring us, parang give us a background of what really happened from the start, so our audience can have a full picture of the situation.
Okay, sige. So, salamat Melvin. No? So, magtatag dish ako for our audience. Diba? So, my first involvement sa LTO was in November of 2020. Nung hinire ako ni then LTO Chief Asek Galvante to help in the rollout. At that time, kaka-resign lang kasi nung project director nila. So, they needed IT consultants to help them in the rollout.
Rollout, sir, nakalink.
Ng LTMS
Okay.
noong time na yun. So this was November, a few months after the COVID na. Okay. So when I joined, I knew that this was not a simple project. So right off the back, I have to say this, no? So LTMS is a large and complex IT project. In fact, one of the largest in the Philippines. Diba? And I've been involved in large projects over my career at Oracle. So I could assess how difficult this was.
How much was the project?
It was 8.1 billion.
8.1
Okay.
billion.
In fact, people, this is one thing that I try to explain.
This is pesos, sir. 8.1
Pesos,
billion
okay.
pesos.
But the way this was managed and conducted, it was split to 2 bids. Okay. So component A na 3.1 billion, this is what Dermalog won.
Okay.
Okay. So again, this is one component. The 5 billion, this was bidded out by LTO's MID to different vendors. In fact, the initial contract of Dermalog only was for the back end, the software, and the rollout of only 24 pilot sites.
Okay.
The rollout for all the other branches was the responsibility of LTO.
Okay.
Okay, so it was important. My role and Aida's role was important in the rollout kasi we brought in the expertise sa LTO to be able to implement such a very sophisticated project. That's why I invited Aida to join and become the project director. Kasi I wanted to concentrate on the rollout and somebody had to manage the project side.
Correct.
Kasi there were still
Software side.
the software side kasi there were still issues that we needed to resolve with the LTMS implementation. Okay,
Sir,
so
Bernard, Miss Aida was not yet part of your team
hindi
then,
pa. Nung
I was with the ICC.
she
was
okay.
with the ICT then.
So ang request ko, i-detail siya. So ni-request namin at she then said
Parang secondment. parang ganun.
secondment, detailment actually.
Si Asek Galvante.
Okay, so we requested from then the ICT head Honasan, sumulat si Asik Galvante requesting Miss Aida to be detailed
Sa
at
LTO.
which happened March of 2021 until our term ended June 30, 2022.
Okay.
So para kaming tandem. So Aida managed the project side, I manage the rollout side. Kasi ganun nga ka-complex yung LTMS. Okay. So yung nga kailangan maintindihan, hindi ito pareho sa STRADCOM system na isa lang kausap mo. Sa STRADCOM kasi, it was a BOO project. From tables and chairs to computers to people, isa lang kausap mo. Dito kasi, it's a government managed, iba-iba. So, Dermalog managed the 24 sites and the back end and the software. The network, the support of all the 400 branches is LTO-MID.
Okay.
And I think that's an important distinction kasi laging lumalabas kung may problema, kasalanan ni Dermalog. Hindi po, kasalanan po ng LTO. Kasi 70% of the project was managed by LTO.
Okay.
So yun ang gusto ko unang clarify.
Anong setup? Bakit hindi lang isa?
Again, because again sa government bidding, no, to bid an 8 billion project, walang magkwa-qualify. Masyadong malaki. Yung SLCC requirements is difficult to have one big vendor.
Okay.
Diba? And the normal large vendors don't want to participate in government, diba? The IBMs, the HPs, ayaw nila eh. So you're left with local companies, diba? Okay, so it was actually a good idea to split it. Get the system running with 24. Pag tumatakbo, tsaka i-roll out sa iba. Maganda yung concept. It was well managed. It was kaya lang it needed skills to do a project like this size. Okay. So yun nangyari. So Aida, what did you see ba when you took over the project? So maybe I could segue to you.
Yes, please, madam.
What did I see? Yun, kasi doon ako sa system side. So, there was really no skilled people in IT sa LTO because for the longest time, the IT of LTO was managed by STRADCOM. So, ang nandun lang ay usually data encoders. Walang programmers, walang network administrators. So, all of
Check
these...
lang ng internet kung meron. Yun.
Not even.
Not even.
Yung IT nila, more on generating statistical reports.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, ang STRADCOM kasi, anong tawag doon? Ano sila yung distributed ng system.
Decentralized.
So every district office would have its own database.
Okay.
So consolidating this will take a lot of time.
Okay.
So yung concept ng LTMS, it's a centralized database, distributed ang usage.
Yes.
So mas madali siyang i-manage in terms of database, no? Pero in terms of the people using the system, medyo mahirap kasi you have to train a lot of people to use the system. And then there's this executive information system. So tinurn over to sa LTO na train. But unfortunately, hindi talaga ganon kataas yung skills. So they were not able to really utilize the system. They had to depend on, which is also, I think that's already out of their contract, not to use, for them to generate reports from the EIS. Kasi nandiyan na yung EIS, gamitin mo na lang eh.
Okay. Bernard, I have a question. Batay dun sa explanation mo na 25 and the remaining to
24.
24, okay. So, you said that was all legal and that all had like a coordinated idea that step by step ito yung mangyayari, and then after you did this, the 24, you will roll it out and so on. What happened? Why is the problem? What caused this now happening after Aida explained? Kasi manpower and so on. Hindi ba mailipat yun? Hindi ba?
Okay.
Actually, na-implement.
So that's the first fake news I want to implement on. When we left in June of 2022, 97% rollout ng LTMS.
Clear.
There were just probably a few offices na internet.
Ang problem kasi, di ba? Every year nadadagdagan ng district
offices.
Yes.
So when the contract was signed, there were 228 offices. Plus the DLROs, ito yung mga sa mall. So siguro 280. By the time I left, 380 na.
300 plus.
5 years kasi yung rollout, so nagkakaroon yung offices. So
dadagdagan.
So the first thing I want to state is nung umalis kami, 97% rollout. Ang hindi pa lang so na-implement na yung driver's license tsaka yung motor vehicle fully. Ang hindi pa na-implement yung new registration kasi medyo complex yung module. It took another year. So nung 2022, nag-issue ng memo si Ase Galvante na 100% LTMS na tayo. Bakit? Kasi ang hirap kung nag-e-enter ka sa STRADCOM, nag-e-enter ka sa LTMS, hindi mo alam kung saan yung data. Dapat, di ba sa IT, we need the single version of the truth. Diba? We have concepts like that. So the single version of truth should have been LTMS. For that to happen, kailangan ihinto na yung paggamit ng STRADCOM. So yung unang memo namin noong April, ihinto na. Tama na yan, lahat LTMS. Pagdating ni ASEC Guadis, biglang inalaw uli yung parallel. But he only stayed for 6 months. Pagbalik ni ASEC Tugade, binalik uli yung full LTMS. Okay, so twice. So again, politics and ano. No? So nag-full LTMS kami April of 2022. Si ASEC Tugade again restored it of January of 2023.
Pilot lang
Second.
yun. Yung registration
Okay.
is pilot.
Kaso, pagpasok ni ASEC Vigor Mendoza nung August, pinarallel uli niya. Citing daw performance issues, pero wala siyang detalye. So, doon nag-umpisa yung problema.
Okay.
Bakit inalaw uli ibalik si STRADCOM? Malinis na for 6 months na full LTMS, walang reklamo,
Correct.
walang ganon.
Oo.
Okay. So, yun yung anomalya siguro. Kaya kami nag-file ng complaint kasi hanggang ngayon, inaalaw pa rin yung dual system.
What is the disadvantage now of the dual system?
Okay,
Para
so,
maintindihan ho namin.
let's do the analogy. Okay.
Sige po.
Bangko ka.
Okay.
You cannot have 2 systems running your account.
Correct.
Diba? So, anong balanse ko?
Ah.
Which system will I look for?
Okay.
Correct, diba? I have only one bank account.
Correct.
Okay. If you have 2 IT systems, if I ask the question, ilang kotseng nakarehistro, anong sagot mo?
Di ho namin alam.
Hindi ko namin alam. Kasi eto ho yung sa LTMS, hindi ho namin alam kung alin ang nasa
Correct.
STRADCOM. Okay, one. Second, if you want to create a program to fix the traffic, and the first question I ask, ilan bang behikulo dyan sa NCR? Again, ang sagot ko, hindi ko alam.
Correct.
Kasi nandito.
Yep.
Diba? So there was really no reason to bring back STRADCOM. The reasons I read na kailangan kasi ng backup. Okay, kung kailangan ng backup, bumili ka ng Disaster Recovery Center. Hindi ka bumili ng backup IT system. When a bank has his backup is another system of
Yep.
the same software.
Correct.
Dapat
Hindi
redundant.
backup ibang
Redundancy.
system na ibang software.
Yes, yes.
Those are not best practices in
Correct.
IT.
Okay.
Kaya nga sabi ko, simple lang yung solusyon Bakit hindi ma-implement?
Okay.
May I
Aida.
add something to that? Kasi di ba, ang problem nun, una is how to get the data from STRADCOM
Correct.
and export this to LTMS.
Yes.
So sa driver's license, since na fully na-implement yan, yung lahat na ng data ng drivers,
Okay.
nandito na. Kasi remember when you were, di ba, kukunin nila yung data mo, encode nila. So yun, na-encode na yan sa LTMS.
Okay.
So walang problema. Pero sa registration ng vehicles, doon nagkakaroon ng problema. So hindi mo na nga makuha yung data na buo. Tapos dadagdagan mo pa.
Bakit hindi pa makuha yung...
Hindi sila makabigay.
Ang
When we were
STRADCOM,
there,
ayaw
ang
niya.
STRADCOM, nahirapan siguro sila. Kasi nga, hiwa-hiwalay di ba? So, to get the data from all of this, kailangan nila i-consolidate, di ba?
Okay.
Ibig sabihin po, hawak pa rin nila yung data?
Yes.
Hindi,
Oo.
as if you renew in STRADCOM, then the data stays with them.
Where you renew?
Yes,
where
wording
you-
yun.
where
Yun ang
you
danger
register.
nga ngayon In fact, ang nakita naming hindi kami makapaniwala, LTMS ka na. It takes 5 minutes to renew. Nilalagay pa nila sa STRADCOM.
Okay.
Di ba? Ibig sabihin, I understand, kuwari, walang feature, gamitin ko STRADCOM, okay. But if you're LTMS already, bakit mo i-renew sa STRADCOM? Anong kalokohan yon, di ba?
Correct, correct.
Ibig sabihin,
Kalokohan talaga.
di ba? That's why nga itong this is not simply an IT issue, it's a political and let's face it, it could be corruption issue, di ba? Kaya
Okay.
nga we filed the complaint sa ombudsman kasi feeling na.
Yung sa tanong ni Melvin, yung data, nakuha yon because ginawa ng strategy. So nakuha na hanggang na-implement nga yung. Pero kung ginagamit mo pa rin yung STRADCOM, so
Nadadagdagan.
hindi mo na naman yun
Okay.
nakukuha,
Kukuha,
di ba?
oo.
So is this the reason why parang nakikita ko recently, because I live in San Pablo, and nung nagkaroon na LTMS, ang bilis, talaga
Yes.
5 minuto tapos. Dating ako doon.
Mabilis talaga.
Ngayon parang nagkakaproblema, pati rehistro,
Yeah.
bumabaliktad na kinakailangan mag-stencil uli.
Yes.
Kailangan is this a direct
Yeah.
result
Yun
of
ba
this
yung part yun?
confusion?
Nagiging problema
Well,
ng mga car registrations.
The thing you want to do with computerization is you want to make it paperless.
Yes.
Di ba?
Oo.
Basta may papel, may chance, may manual process, may chance for corruption.
Correct.
Di ba? Kaya nga LTMS fixes a lot of
Yeah,
that.
ang
Yep.
LTMS kasi straight through processing.
Oh, yeah.
From the start hanggang
Correct.
dulo, diretso yan.
Yep.
Walang manual interventions, walang manual handoffs ng data.
Correct.
So, mabilis talaga.
Yes.
Ngayon, katulad dun sa, we connected LTMS to the Insurance Commission
Yep.
for the CTPL. We connected with
Igo.
Yeah.
Igo. Pero wala pa tayo nun. We even connected it to NCAP eh.
NCAP,
Yeah,
meron.
NCAP,
Single
correct.
ticketing
Oo,
system.
single ticketing system. Pero kung ngayon,
Customs.
ang isang problem is, if you, di bumili ka na, no, ng COC, digitalized na yung COC mo, naka-record na. So, pag pinakita mo yung physical, i-check na lang ng system kung yun yung nandun. Ang nangyayari, hindi namin yan makita, kuha ka ulit ng bago.
Yun.
Di ba? Pinapakuha
Yes,
ulit
yes.
ng bago. Okay lang kasi usually, mura lang naman ang ano, di ba? Pero
hassle po.
hassle
Nangyari yan
talaga.
sa kaibigan
At saka
natin.
sasabihin nila, hindi makita.
Yes.
So, LTMS ulit yung... Pero yun pala, bakit nila gustong ipabili? Para may ipasok sa STRADCOM
Okay,
system.
now I understand.
Kasi
Okay.
yung... Ito, dire-diretso na eh. Even the pagbili ng CTPL, andun na yun sa system. And the system will say to IC, itong COC na to, gamit na to. Merong ganong mga handoffs ng data. Pero all of these are happening sa background. Hindi alam ng users yan.
Okay, magbe-break muna ang TechSabado and we'll continue with this talk with Miss Aida and Sir Bernard. Okay, we're back dito sa TechSabado and of course, bagong lahat, magpapasalamat muna tayo sa PLDT Smart for their venue dito sa Makati City, sa Ramon Coangco Building, yung headquarters po ng PLDT and of course, sa ating makasama sa 5 siglo. Maraming salamat din po. Pag-usapan po natin dito yung controversy na nangyayari ngayon sa LTO regarding the LTMS. Basically, no, parang nangyayari dito compare natin pag nag-shopping kayo online, then ito tuloy-tuloy from the start na pinili niyo yung product hanggang sa checkout nyo hanggang sa pagkuha ng cash ninyo na piyambayad, isang sistema lang ang dinaanan. Parang ganun lang po yung kasimple yung yung nangyayari. Kaso ngayon naiba. Kaya marami pong reklamo ngayon sa LTO sa mga when it comes to licensing, registration ng kotse, at siyempre yung renewal ng mga license, yan po, nagiging isa to siguro sa mga nagiging problema ngayon ng LTO. Hindi seamless, kumbaga. So pagpatuloy po natin ang usapan natin with Miss Aida and Sir Bernard.
Nawala yung pagka-seamless sa Tito Jing. Kasi off-cam po, pinag-uusapan namin yung experience ng kaibigan natin, si Mike Potenciano. For the time that he was registering the vehicle or his vehicle under LTMS, wala siyang problema. Tapos nagkaroon ng lapse this year, kinailangan uli kumuha ng stencil, kinailangan uli kumuha ng
Old school, kumbaga.
naging old school. And the explanation for that was because of this disruption. So, ang laki ng epekto sa ating end user, di ba? Saan nag-start yung controversy? You mentioned earlier, Sir Bernard, Ma'am Aida, na merong possible corruption. Let's tie it in.
Okay. If your concept is automating and reform, there's really no question LTMS is the way to go.
Yes.
But just like any software project, lagi may mga issues siya na kailangan resolve.
Correct.
But
May additional requirements.
May additional requirements. But I think the thing that we were reading the papers that we wanted to correct is they are not really major. Normal yan sa any IT project.
Okay.
That if you manage it well, there will be a few things that you need to manage. But
Okay.
it does not reach the level na kailangan ka gumawa ng backup system.
Okay.
Because naka-move, the proof in the pudding was naka-transition na tayo na full LTMS noong 2023.
Okay.
Na buong 2023, walang problema until that parallel system memo came out,
Okay.
di ba? At hanggang ngayon, hindi pa tinatanggal. And ang inconvenience talaga nito, no, as you said, LTMS was built to be fully automated. It is both used for operational and analytical.
Okay.
You can use the data to analyze. Unfortunately, STRADCOM is an old type of design. Operational lang yan. Nagpiprint lang yan.
Okay.
Wala ka talaga mga pwedeng gawin. Walang online payment, walang online renewal. At it uses a lot of manual requirements like kailangan ng stencil.
Yes.
Sa LTMS, hindi mo na kailangan eh. Kaya hindi namin maintindihan as IT practitioners, bakit nyo binabalik sa luma?
Yeah. Like, yung halimbawa, yung computation ng MVUs. Doon sa dating system, it can be changed. Isa yan sa reklamo nila noon, di ba? Sa LTMS kasi, it's automatic. May
Correct.
formula.
Yes.
Actually, we integrated 39 formulas for the computation
Of
of
the
MVUC.
Okay.
Para lang lahat automated
Sakto,
na.
pasok.
Oo. Pero reklamo pa rin nila, mali daw yung MVUC. So, at that time, I cannot understand. Ang dami ng formula, bakit mali pa rin? Yun pala gusto nilang pwedeng mabago.
Okay. So the elephant in the room is that if pag minano-mano mo, you are
Yeah.
opening it
Yeah.
for corruption.
I'll give an exact example
They wanted LTMS
to have that
to have
adjusting
that
field.
feature na pwedeng baguhin.
Explain ko lang, okay? The way
Okay.
STRADCOM does
Okay.
it, we have a unique way kasi of computing MVUC. Kasi we,
MVUC is?
motor vehicles
vehicle
user charge,
usage.
yun yung
Okay.
fee na binabayaran
It
mo.
depends
It
on
depends
that type
kasi,
of vehicle.
type of vehicle, tsaka it depends also anong ending plate mo.
Okay.
Kuwari, binili mo ng May, 3 years mag-expire.
Yep.
Pero yung plaka mo, January.
Correct.
So,
You have to adjust. Yes.
May formula yan how to adjust this. The way STRADCOM handles it is, kung unang computation niya mali, hindi niya makokorek yun. Meron siyang adjusting field.
Okay.
Kuwari, dapat 1,000 iko-kolekta. Na-kolekta mo 800 lang. Meron siya doon, pwede mo dagdag 200, magiging 1,000.
Okay.
Okay, now, imagine an IT system na pwede mong i-adjust yung amount.
And the amount is manually entered.
Yes.
Okay.
Yun ang tinanggal namin.
Okay.
Kasi pag automated,
I could just pop in another zero.
yes,
Yes,
you
so,
can.
tama.
They want that feature in LTMS. Kailangan daw may field na pwede adjust. Kasi
Pwedeng adjustment.
paminsan-minsan, may mali rin si LTMS sa computation.
Okay.
Pero the way it's handled is process, kung kulang, dagdag kang bagong resibo.
Okay.
Hindi mo itatype sa LTMS.
Correct.
Yun ang gusto nila. And sabi namin, okay, that's why it's napakahirap sa amin ni Aida kasi change mindset. These people don't understand. Yung ginagawa nyo dati, kahit na madali yun, mali yun. Kasi it opens you for corruption. Isipin mo,
Or to mistakes.
mistakes and corruption. Yun. And ma-enter mo kahit anong amount. Gusto nila ibalik yon. And kami, we vehemently rejected. Hindi pwede. Ino-automate namin to.
Kaya nga nag-incorporate tayo ng sobrang daming
Formulas. Kaya lang, you can miss one formula at mali. Tama yon.
Maraming pwedeng inventohin.
Like COA, di ba? But the way to correct it is an adjustment entry that's may
Yeah.
record.
Process. Yes.
Hindi yung itatype mo tapos hindi mo alam anong nangyari. Yun yung danger ng STRADCOM system. It allows a change in the amount.
I don't know
Imagine,
if they changed that already.
that is a feature that they have that we vigorously oppose.
Okay.
Hindi mo pwedeng, and this is given to the LTO chief, the hepe.
Oo.
Pwede niyang i-adjust yung kung mali.
So now, yung sa
LTMS,
STRADCOM, meron yun.
Yes.
Oo. So that's why they want
Okay.
revive.
Okay.
retain, oo.
Here's the danger of what they're trying to do. No? So, okay. Dati, lahat ng ecosystem, lahat ng mga partners, stakeholders, nakakabit sa STRADCOM.
Yep.
Medical clinics, driving schools,
Correct.
PETC, PMBIC, insurance.
Correct.
Noong 2022, kinabit na lahat yan sa LTMS.
Correct.
Wala nang connection sa STRADCOM.
Correct.
So how can you renew in STRADCOM kung yung insurance COC mo
is
nandito
other.
sa LTMS? Imagine that. How is STRADCOM able to renew a renewal if it does not see the COC?
Correct. How?
Kaya nga nagpapakuha sila ng bago.
Oo. Kaya yeah, it will trouble the...
Nakita mo?
Yes.
Hindi na nakikita ni STRADCOM, di ba?
Oo.
At kung nagre-renew ka at 2 years of data na sa LTMS, paano mo nalaman kung may penalty charge or wala? So, nare-renew mo yon nang walang penalty charge. That's a government leakage.
Yes. And a loss also.
Diba? Kasi ng data na sa LTMS, hindi mo alam kung na-renew. Hindi. Nire-renew nila normally as regular.
Correct.
Pero paano kung last renewal niya 2023? Di may penalty yun.
But I think they are looking at LTMS
They're not.
also.
They're most, if kung magaling yung hepe, check mo niya sa LTMS.
Yep.
And then re-renew. So, ang question ko, ba't mo pa i-renew dito? Di-renew mo na sa LTMS.
Oo. So, again, let me understand, from a physical perspective, in the office,
There are 2 computers.
you have 2 terminals.
Yes.
And you'll type on and you'll type here.
Yes.
And then, what will you do which is more favorable for you?
Yes. So, the choice is in the person.
Okay.
So, that's why nga, prone to corruption.
Okay.
Di ba?
Yep.
O pare, dito mo ilagay. Nakita mo?
Okay.
Hindi, kaya nga, di ba, sa IT,
Tsaka it allows non-appearance.
non-appearance. di ba?
Non-appearance. So,
Kasi the other system
Sa
does not check.
inspection.
correct.
It does not check kung may insurance. It does not check kung may inspection ka. All it does is renewal.
Yes.
Because may 169 computer fee.
Correct.
Mention si Asik Guadis ang unang nagbalik
Sa STRADCOM, sa parallel usage.
para siya una.
Siya una.
Okay.
Pangalawa si former LTO chief, Vigor Mendoza.
Okay.
Ano ba yun? Do they have the discretion, the power to actually do that? O kailangan, hindi ba kailangan
Dumaan sa proseso.
ng
DOTR.
DOTR?
No, ang reason nila is public interest of the public. Kasi nga, marami raw issues sa LTMS na hindi pa nagagawa. So,
Hindi, ito nga yung lusot lagi, okay, and we see, kuwari may problema sa LTMS, so, kuwari may glitch or ganon, di ganon. Naghihintay tao, gamitin natin yung STRADCOM muna. Okay, when they say that, they're not using an IT system, you're using a system just to print OR para umalis yung tao. Paano kung mali? So there's a question about security and convenience. Diba? LTMS was built for security purpose na i-check niya kung naka-renew ka o hindi, na tama yung nagre-renew and all of that. STRADCOM doesn't have that. So in that debate, dapat LTO says, hindi convinced ng issue, tama ba yung nire-renew? Nagkakaroon ba tayo ng revenue leakage?
Correct.
Kasi hindi na-check STRADCOM.
Correct.
So it's an easy reason to say, kailangan gawin STRADCOM kasi ang haba ng pila eh. When in fact, kung wala yung STRADCOM, hindi mo masasabi yung reason na yun eh. You have to invest in LTMS.
tsaka
diba?
ang bilis lang. Ang bilis lang talaga pag sa LTMS.
One thing pala,
30 minutes tapos ka.
dadagdag ko lang to kasi importante to. I presented this in Congress eh. Ang budget ng LTMS was 8 billion. Ang nagagamit pa lang, 5.5.
Okay.
So even with 5.5, marami na tayong nagawa. Kaya lang, yung 2.5, kailangan gamitin yon dun sa missing components. Wala siyang disaster recovery center.
So is that the money that they're using now for STRADCOM?
That they are that 2.5 binabanggit nila, yun daw yung maintenance money. Hindi po 2.5 is the unused portion.
Kasi yung 5.5 is...
Hindi. 2.6 out of the 3.1 nabayad na sa Dermalog. So 500 million na lang. Okay. Tapos dun sa 5 billion for LTO, halos 3.5 pa lang nagagamit. Kasi yung budget for the Disaster Recovery Center, the hardware refresh, the budget to replace end-of-life computers, hindi nagagamit.
Okay.
So yun ang nire-request. Ako nag-present kasi yun and they're saying, ni-request daw ng Dermalog 2.5 for them. Hindi po. I presented on behalf of LTO. It was a budget meeting and I said, Sir, pwede ho ba in 2.5? Kung kaya naman yung ibigay sa LTO, bigay nyo to strengthen LTMS. Ba? Because you need to maintain it. Eh.
Yeah.
So where is STRADCOM getting the money to...
Computer fees kasi yun eh.
Fees.
So PPP
From the
kasi yun eh.
public.
Okay.
It's a BOO project eh.
So ang reason din nila, maganda yung STRADCOM kasi walang ginagastos ang
Gobyerno.
Ang gobyerno.
Sina-charge nila yung mga tao.
Oo.
Pero we go back to the fact that this system has been paid for already by the government.
Yes.
And
In
why
fact,
would the LTO charge again the people?
Computer fee.
Computer
Ang
fees.
objective ng LTMS, palitan si STRADCOM.
Oo.
Diba? And it cannot be two systems. as a practitioners, you cannot have two IT. There can only be one single version of the truth.
Correct.
Diba? Kailangan isa lang. And binili na ng gobyerno, 5.5 binayaran, dapat naman gamitin.
Yung 5.5 na yun kasama yung maintenance.
Yes, yes. Okay, let me I want to focus kasi on recent press releases by
Yes,
LTO
let's see.
that really hurt us as IT practitioners. So let's start with what we agree with him. Okay. We agree with him that the source code is important.
Okay.
Okay, the source code, binili natin yan, that source code has to be given by Dermalog to the Philippine government. Okay. However, not many people know, nag-file ng arbitration case ang Dermalog kasi may problems sila sa collection.
Okay.
Where did you?
They filed sa Philippines naman.
Philippines,
The
okay.
contract actually has a clause that kung may dispute, arbitration.
Here in the Philippines.
The arbitration can be Singapore or Philippines, but Dermalog decided to file in the Philippines.
Okay.
Okay, so that was filed on May 13. Okay? So sana ma-resolve yan. Kasi importante na yung source code mapunta sa gobyerno. I think we should not contest that the source code needs to be given to the government. So we agree on that. But the four other things they say, I vehemently disagree. When there were performance issues happening, hindi po source code ang problema dyan. Kasi source code is important when there's a problem in the application.
Yep.
But as I said, 4 years na pong tumatakbo yan. Walang issue yan sa application. So performance is more a hardware or a network issue.
Correct.
Okay. Which I can actually trace the problem why they are saying that. And I'll talk about that at the conclusion of the show because it may be a little controversial, but I will talk about that. So yon. So, hindi pwede na kung bumabagal ng system, kasi wala kaming source code.
Hindi na.
So, ibig sabihin, kasi hindi nyo minamanage well yung LTMS, diba? You have to manage it well with competent people who can assess what the problem is.
Let me ask si Ma'am Aida, from a technical point of view, sabi ni Sir Bernard, the source code is not the problem.
No.
So, ano yung nagiging basihan nila na para sabihin yun? May problems.
Hindi ko alam sa ngayon, no? I'm not there anymore. Pero, parang very simplistic na sabihin kasi walang source code na binigay.
Okay,
Maraming source.
They're blaming lang ba?
Maraming sources ng problem. It could be a network connectivity problem.
Or hardware, like what you said.
Yeah. Or maybe yung... Kasi nga walang maintenance na di ba? Yung Oracle database is not being maintained anymore.
Okay.
The licenses should have been paid for, di ba?
Okay.
I don't know if they paid. They are paying for it.
Basta they're claiming 1.2 billion. Yan ang pagkaalam ko. So there is a money.
Baka sinasadya mag-fail talaga.
Actually, importante. Kaya nga, let me segue to this ombudsman case, di ba? Kaya kami, okay, when I was observing this and nobody was really trying to stop this rollout, I and my attorneys, your friend, decided to say, ano ba itong legal basis ng STRADCOM for staying in
Yes,
yun ang una, di ba? So sabi niya, in the press they say, kasi we have a 50-year agreement that allows us to extend. Okay. Every BOO approval, every BOO contract, once it ends, any extension requires NEDA approval.
Okay.
DepDep na yata pangalan nila
Yep.
ngayon. Okay. So nireview namin, sumulat kami sa LTO, sumulat kami sa DOTR, meron bang approval yung extension? Walang sagot. Sumulat kami mismo sa NEDA at nakakuha kami certification that they never filed any extension. Application since 2013.
Okay.
Which means, lahat ng
Matagal na
binabayad
sila.
natin sa STRADCOM since 2013 is illegal.
Illegal.
Oh.
Diba? That's why we
More
filed a
than 10 years
case
na yun.
asking not just to investigate, but to refund.
Yep.
If you have a fleet of cars na 1,000, lalo na yung mga PUVs, at yung 169 pala binayaran mo, hindi legal, imagine 169,000 yun na per year, iko 10 years, di 1.69 million yun.
Correct.
Diba? Ganon kalaki yung issue. Kaya nga, we filed a case sa Ombudsman saying all the officers that started during the President Marcos term should have reviewed kung merong ano. And why, okay, inisip ko, bakit naman hindi final ni STRADCOM yung renewal at ganon? Kasi at the end of the renewal, NEDA will review yung 169 mo ba, valid pa ba? Kasi nung final mo yon at 169, may gastos ka sa financing, may gastos sa equipment, may gastos ka sa software. After 10 years, Wala na yan, di ba?
Na wipe out.
So, dapat yung renewal rate should be lower than 169.
Yep.
Di ba?
Oh.
Tama,
So, it
tumatagal,
may be
yes.
significantly lower. Kaya
Correct.
siguro hindi nila sinubmit.
Oh.
Di ba? So, right now, they are operating without a valid NEDA contract. Kaya nga, we filed the case, no? And we decided as a group, we called ourselves Coalition 169, that maybe if it is a bigger group of IT professionals na retired, na walang vested interest, to show the public na talagang seryoso yung problema sa LTO.
Oo nga.
Yun. So those are the reasons why we formed that, and also we wanted Coalition 169 to be a platform, a watchdog of LTO. So yung mga nagkakaproblema sa computer fee, sa ganon, ipadalin nyo sa amin yung mga OR nyo, and we can send this to the ombudsman. Kasi hindi na dapat kayo nagbabayad ng 169.
Yeah, if I may also mention, yung lahat ng yung driving schools, yung medical clinics, yung mga PETCs, lahat yan nag-upload ngayon sa STRADCOM because they are required. So, nagbabayad sila. Whereas, nung in-implement namin yung LTMS, walang bayad.
Oo.
They are connected. Everyone is connected to LTMS, lahat ng clinics, lahat ng driving schools. They can upload, walang bayad.
Kasi, in fact, the justification, kasi kailangan namin backup, kaya kailangan i-upload lahat to sa STRADCOM. Kung kailangan yung backup, gumawa kayo ng backup machine. Hindi ng backup IT system.
Correct.
So that's why kami as IT professional, ano ba pinagsasabi ng mga to? So we do not try to misinform the public na kasi kailangan namin backup kaya kailangan namin ng backup IT system. Where in the world does a backup IT system na magkaiba?
And then, kaya nga noon, nung nandun kami, talagang ang worry ko is disaster recovery kasi walang redundant na.
Walang redundant system.
Although nung nandun pa ang dermalog, kasi nasa kanila yung redundancy.
Correct.
No, they can, kasi nasa Germany yung redundancy. Pero once they leave, wala na talaga. Diba? So, as an IT practitioner, yun ang worry ko. Paano kung nandyan na sila na lang, walang redundant system. No? So, yun. So, may budget dapat yun. Tapos yung hardware refresh.
I'm sure having worked, si Sir Bernard, having worked with one of the biggest IT companies in the world, he knows what he's talking about. So, pagbalik po ng TechSabado, pag-usapan pa natin more about this.
Hello, I'm Aida Yuvienco. Good evening sa inyong lahat. I was formerly an IT practitioner in government, and now I am an independent IT consultant. Please watch TechSabado on all of their social media channels.
Hi, I'm Bernard Yu, an IT practitioner. I've been in the industry for 50 years. I'd like to invite all the viewers and followers of TechSabado. You could like or share this program. It's great content and great guests.
Hello, I'm Melvin Calimag of Newsbytes.ph.
Jing Garcia of the Manila Times.
Raymond Tribdino, Tito Tribs ng Manila Times at ng cleantechnica.com.
Please like,
Share
Follow TechSabado
TechSabado.
TechSabado.
sa YouTube at Facebook.
Okay, we're back dito sa TechSabado at umiinit ang ating usapan regarding yung LTMS ng LTO. Of course, with Sir Bernard Yu and Miss Aida Yuvienco. And mga IT practitioners na talaga namang alam talaga nila pinag-usapan nila when it comes to technology. No? So, attorney,
Hindi, si Tito Trips yata meron mo ng
wala pala,
update
Tito
na.
Trips.
Oh,
Sorry.
gusto ko lang kasi i-bring up. Kanina, pinag-uusapan natin lahat ng mga nangyayari. Tapos may mga lumalabas, Sir Bernard, ng mga kwento-kwento na hindi naman masyadong verified, na meron daw blacklist sa inyo, tinatawag kayong mafia, tinatawag kayong mga taga-depensa ng Dermalog. This is the venue to clarify all of that.
Actually, madalas namin marinig yan. First of all, we were hired by LTO. Again, we were hired by LTO, not by Dermalog, to help in the rollout.
Correct.
Kasi kami yung we were the group representing LTO working with Dermalog. Kasi
Yeah, actually, I was...
DICT siya.
DICT
Again,
ako.
she's not. Ako yung independent consultant. Kasi we had to match the skill sets of the Dermalog group. And magaling naman, they're very good in what you do. So we brought in the expertise to help na match yung skill sets nila. So our loyalty is to LTO and the Philippine government. Okay. We are bringing our much needed expertise to help LTO implement LTMS. Okay. So there's no truth that we are Dermalog employees, Dermalog consultants, na paid hacks kami. So that's the one that hurts us. No? Kasi we're retired IT practitioners who want to help the government reform LTO. LTO has the ability to be one of the most digitalized agency if we just put our act together. Okay. So that blacklisting was, I think, shown in a presentation by an LTO executive director that is one of the options they are looking at. But I heard from good sources, hindi naman daw nila i-initiate yon. They just, in their frustration, saying, kung hindi nyo ibigay yung source code, baka i-blacklist namin. Which is their right, no? LTO has the right. In fact, if I was in LTO, I'll do that. But that's why my first prayer earlier is, sana ma-resolve ng LTO at Dermalog ng Dermalog, LTO, and DOTR, itong issue sa source code. Kasi importante yan. Eh. So, parang wala ng ano eh. But at the end kasi, the most important thing is, you have to resolve it because it is the public that's suffering.
Yes.
When you fight, it is us that suffer. We don't care about the giants fighting. Kaming sa publiko, hindi dapat affected ang public service, eh, di ba? And in fact, in any instance, banks or finance companies or LTO, you maintain a healthy relationship with your vendor. Kasi when they leave, you may sometimes need their help. Eh.
Yes,
diba? You do not say bad things about them in public. Diba? Kasi it also reflects on you. Eh. You cannot keep your problems internally. Kailangan magsabi ka na ang kasalanan Dermalog. In fact, there was one memo that I read that really shocked me. There's a problem, but I can tell you it's not LTO's fault. It's Dermalog's fault. How can you have a memo blaming somebody? It is LTO's fault, diba?
Yes.
Whatever is happening. Diba? So yon.
So
let's talk about the Ombudsman Directive. The Ombudsman Directive kasi, the Ombudsman has been monitoring the developments here in LTO. That's why when we filed our case in May, we had all the documents to show walang kontrata si STRADCOM. In fact, we concentrated on that, diba? Na why is LTO using a system that does not have NEDA approval? Diba? And we said maybe that's the ombudsman to step in, investigate, and stop the usage, which they did. Kaya May 29, nag-issue sila ng order to stop the use of STRADCOM and fully implement LTMS.
Yes.
And not just fully implement, ilagay mo yung infrastructure to maintain it. Have a transition support kasi we need to transfer the skills. Nag-expire na kasi yung contract May 13. They nag-offer ng transition support si Dermalog, hindi tinanggap ng LTO. Bakit after the fact? Nung nagkakaproblema na, di ba? You also need to probably budget for software maintenance, di ba? And those are the things you need to probably hire good consultants who can help you implement this. Wag na kami kasi tapos na kami. Someone who could help you implement a project like that. That's good hygiene. Those are things you need to do to maintain a good IT system. Okay. Aida, pass up.
Yeah, when I was there, before I left LTO, I proposed a transition plan that could be followed by LTO and Dermalog so that
To support LTMS.
Yes.
to support LTMS. Kasi nga, kailangan talagang support, di ba? Pag wala na yung dermalog, sinong gagawa?
So right now, the situation is, they're not doing that.
No, hindi naman nasunod yun.
So ngayon, basically, yung STRADCOM system ang binibigyan nila ng resources to support.
Yes.
Hindi, kasi walang resources na kailangan sa STRADCOM system.
Okay.
Kasi everything is being done by
By
STRADCOM.
STRADCOM.
So if there are new district offices, sila rin ang magpo-provide ng computers, di ba? So wala. Madali lang nila i-implement kasi everything is being done by STRADCOM. Whereas kung LTMS ang, kasi may bagong district office, they have to buy the computers, di ba? They have to put it in the network, they have to train the people. LTO yon ang gagawa, which siyempre sa kanila, dagdag trabaho. Di
Pero
ba?
mas gusto na, supposedly, na
Wala silang
yung
gagawin.
STRADCOM na lang.
Yes.
Ang problema doon, of course, you need to charge again
169.
169.
Yan, oo.
Siyempre, continuous yun, di
Oo.
ba?
So, yun ang problema
Kasi
doon.
noon, we had to educate the LTO people at the time. Bakit ang hirap-hirap daw mag-implement ng LTMS? Ayaw pa nila magpalagay ng computers kasi yung even the tables in the district office.
We're owned by STRADCOM.
Hindi pwede.
Nakalagay sa sahig yung computer
maski
kasi hindi
sa-
na pwede gamitin.
Oh, hindi pwede dyan kasi STRADCOM naglagay niyan.
Ito, this is at least for at least to put some humor to our discussion. May kwento si Ase Galvante na dumalaw siya. Bakit hindi na-implement? Sir, wala ko kaming table at ayaw paggamit STRADCOM. Ganun ba? Yung table mo, ilagay mo doon para magamit yung LTMS. Ibig sabihin,
So,
diba?
ganun-
Fix the
ganun
problem.
tayo.
Diba?
Kasi siyempre, pag STRADCOM, wala silang problema eh.
Okay.
Gagamitin na lang yung sistema,
Okay.
di ba? Ang maganda pa sana sa LTMS, we had handheld computers
Yep.
na pwedeng ibigay sa
Mga enforcers,
enforcers. So,
saksak lang,
Sasaksak,
malalaman ko yung
mabaverify
lisensya mo,
mo kung may
verify. Pa yung mga
lisensya
fake
ka.
na
Oo,
recto
Sa
base.
US.
Yes.
Sa US,
Kasama
nandun
yun.
natin, ha?
there were
Support,
1,000 as part of the
Kasama
project.
yun. Ay, alam mo ba't di
1,000
na-implement?
Bakit?
Kasi walang budget sa
Terminal.
sa SIM.
Internet.
cellular.
Cellular
Di
connection.
ba?
Oo.
Kasi enforcer, may sarili na
Gamit ang
telepono eh.
cellular.
Correct.
Di ba?
Gamit ang
Alam ka naman siya
cellular.
magbabayad to use.
Pero part of the project was 1,000
But devices
units.
are there.
1,000 units. oo.
Meron na po.
Dati, oo.
It's
meron.
there.
It's
Pwede
there.
gamitin.
Kailangan
Na yun
gamitin.
Gagamitin na lang.
Mahuhuli nila yung mga recto-based na lisensya. Ang daming maganda
Okay.
na...
Okay.
So basically, what we're trying to say, LTO, please wake up. No, this
Okay.
is a government project. Gamitin na nyo.
Correct.
Resolve your differences with Dermalog because it is the public suffering.
Okay.
These issues are not difficult. They're the same issues with any IT project.
Ako naman, as an IT person, syempre may satisfaction ako. Makita ko yung LTO na fully automated.
Yes. Oo.
Tayo.
At saka naramdaman natin yung unang stages,
Oo.
naramdaman natin.
Tapos nakita mo
Tuntua
nakita
tayo.
namin na-implement at
Correct.
sobrang ganda. Nung
Kasi if
i-implement.
you allow na yung STRADCOM ang hahawak doon, perpetually, magiging hostage ka.
Hindi ko lang alam bakit hindi binago ni STRADCOM yung system.
Yung style on
Okay,
platform
yung
They
nila.
had a lot of time, ilang years, di ba? They could have improved the system.
Okay.
Kasi mawawala yung editing field.
Mapalitan yung
Yes.
structure, di ba? Yung
Wow.
sa halip na distributed, baka naging ano na rin, centralized database. They had the time and the resources to do that. I didn't know why.
So Sir Bernard, is it an issue of leadership? Is it an issue of
Yeah, I think
Well,
it's a major issue.
as Melvin
Politics.
said, the Ombudsman has issued a very clear directive to stop using STRADCOM and start using LTMS. Not only start using, provide the infrastructure to support it.
Correct.
Fix your transition support with Dermalog. Budget for maintenance. Fix the hardware refresh. Fix the DRC. Diba?
Actually, maganda yung contract eh. Kasi
Saka bayad na.
it includes 5 years maintenance eh. Unlike
5 years.
other, ako
1 or
nasa
2 years lang.
government, hanggang 1 year, 2 years lang ang maximum. So, pag naiwan na ng vendor yung sistema, wala na rin, di ba? Pero itong 5 years, may time talaga na ma-develop yung capacity.
within the agency?
I know
Within
6
the
months
agency.
before it expired, sumulat si Dermalog asking for meeting to do transition support. Kasi
Correct.
nga alis na sila eh. Pero hindi pinansin.
Hindi pinansin. Okay. So that really is what is it? A process issue, a leadership? Because if you have all of these documents, all of these processes there, walang reaction.
Factors, kasi, like halimbawa sa maintenance, sa skills ng tao, ang liit ng IT group ng LTO.
Okay.
Tapos division chief lang yung pinakamataas. And then, some low-level positions. But if you have to maintain a system like LTMS, you would need highly skilled people.
Okay.
And this would need higher, di ba? Higher salaries, higher positions na wala sa LTO. So, LTO could have, siguro before, could have applied for this position sa DBM, sa civil service, di ba? Because kailangan kasi holistic yung approach eh. Di ba? Okay, ang ganda-ganda ng sistema mo, pero yung tao.
Okay, so again, Oracle, no? This is an Oracle-based system. And we know from Oracle, you need a DBA.
Yes.
Wala pong DBA sa LTO. Kaya nga, kung nagkakaproblema, hindi rin talaga ma-analyze. So, skill sets and putting the right IT consultants is important. You can hire IT consultants naman. If you cannot hire them, plantilla, hinire kami.
Pero budget
We were IT consultants of Asa Galvante. Pwede mo naman gawin yun kung talagang desidido ka to maintain LTMS.
Okay.
Kaya nga kami, nakikiusap kami sa LTO and DOTR, please resolve your differences with Dermalog. Think about the public. This is sayang itong 5.5 kung hindi nyo i-maintain.
Correct.
Para ka bumiling kotse, hindi mo maintain, then bine-blame mo yung binilan mo ng kotse. Di ba?
And also, kaya nga kayo hinire as consultant to consult you kung anong
Yes.
tamang gawin, di ba?
Yes.
Yun naman yun eh.
So, yun nga, they should probably hire good consultants to help them manage this crisis. Hindi pwedeng, kasi wala kaming source code. Di ba? It's just, you are still LTO, you are the head of the agency.
So, kasi kung source code, kung may problem sa source code, may problema, may bug, o may kailangan palitan, sinong pwedeng makapalit, di ba? Walang may alam. I mean, kahit yung database schema, hindi pa rin nila alam.
Yeah.
Diba? So, it would be very difficult to maintain. Kung source code lang ang kukuhanin.
That's the answer to probably dun sa about few weeks ago, yung Digital Pinoy's
Yung kay Ron Gustino.
issued a statement nga asking the Dermalog to turn over the source code to the government. Kasi raw ang sabi daw, apparently, sinasabi ng LTO kaya sila nagkakaroon ng problema sa performance issues. Dahil wala sa source code.
Well, as I said at the start, di ba, let's not, importante yung na source code mapunta sa gobyerno. I agree with Ron on that aspect, but I think before he comments on the things happening at LTO, he should know really what's the facts. Kasi as IT people, nag-agree naman tayo. Binary tayo black or white. There's no middle ground for us. We always agree whether it's right or wrong. Kasi IT is almost a perfect science, diba? So dito, agree, source code is important, but that is not the issue that was happening. There were slowdown, performance issues. Hindi dapat source code yung
At
issue.
saka yung source code kasi, kahit kung ikaw yung gumawa ng system, ikaw yung nagme-maintain. At nasa iyo pa rin yung responsibility to maintain. Why will you turn over the source code na pwedeng ma-compromise,
Correct.
diba? So, sa contract, talaga ang turnover ng source code is
It's
at the end
Yes.
of the contract.
But they've been demanding for it for advance in 2 years. Sabi ko, anong gagamitin sa source code? minomodify pa yan eh. If you get an early version, that is different from the last version.
Correct.
Nakalagay naman sa contract na kailangan i-turn over. In fact, the press release of Dermalog says, we have never said we will not surrender it. We just have issues on the collection.
Correct.
But right now, where is the source code?
It's still with Dermalog, but there are developments that are happening in... Marami kasi nag-intervene to fix the problem. So let's give the people who are in charge of trying to fix this the chance to fix it. Sabi ko nga, this cannot continue as is, diba? Tayo nagsasuffer. So hopefully, the intervention of these government officials to resolve this issue will happen hopefully in the next 2 weeks. No? We're hopeful these things will be resolved. But there's one thing, no? I'd like, last point, I said I wanted to say what was the cause of the problem, but why they were blaming the source code, okay? About 6 months ago, the head of IT of LTO was replaced. He was relieved of his job and they put a person. The person in charge does not have an IT background. The head of MID, who is now managing the LTMS, does not have an IT background. So not only is that unusual, that is very dangerous.
Very.
Diba? If you have a performance problem and your people present you 4 options on how to solve it, how will you know how to solve it?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is what happened, diba? Trial and error. So, subukan mo yan, subukan mo yan. Diba? So, important sana, put some semblance of, competency by putting somebody naman with an IT background. I don't have an IT degree. I'm an IME graduate of LaSalle, but 40 years of my life has been exposed to IT. So when you present me an IT problem, I could probably solve it. Diba? Importante yun. Diba? And my analogy here is like putting me in charge of the legal division of a company, an IT person. Ganon nakakatawa, di ba? Or putting me as the litigation counsel on a murder trial and I'm supposed to defend that person. That's how dangerous the situation is. If you put a person without an IT background in charge of one of the largest and most complex IT project in the Philippines, prayers na lang po tayo.
Saka mas mahabang pila sa mga
No
LTO.
source code will save you.
No source code will save you. Thank you for that. Di ba?
5 billion ba?
Kaya nga, we kept on saying, competency, putting the right resources, putting that is important. Hindi po source code issue lang to.
Okay.
Tsaka hopefully, may order na yung ombudsman eh. I can't understand why these people
Yes.
I-insist pa rin nila sa sarili
insist.
nilang
would defy the
decision.
order
Yes.
pa. No? Gusto mo silang makasuhan pa ulit.
Actually, kahit dun sa Senate, dati pa, di ba? They promised na, LTO promised na, by this month, fully
Full
implemented.
payment. The last commitment was August 30, 2023, 100% LTMS. 6 years na, mag-anniversary na tayo. Di ba? So,
3
ano yung
years lang.
if
Matagal din.
then LTO Chief Yasik Tugades saw that they could do that in August 30, 2023. If he was the LTO chief and he said that statement, why can't the current LTO chief make that same commitment? Di ba?
Correct.
If that ASEC already saw that he committed sa Congress, by August 30, 2023, 100% LTMS na kami.
Kasi pwede naman talaga eh. Dahil na-implement na eh.
Ibig sabihin, it's a non-IT person saying that, then talagang posible. Bakit?
May nangyari lang.
May nangyari at...
May nangyari.
Na-implement na eh. Di ba?
Pero sabi ni Ombudsman Boying, pinalipas lang daw niya yung SONE.
Oo nga.
Sabi niya,
watch me.
kasi...
So we're watching Ombudsman. Sana naman tumulong po tayo, di ba? Hindi naman to para sa dermalog, it's for us. We have to be proud about something. As IT, talagang gusto namin pagmalaki ni Aida na we were part of a successful implementation.
Project implementation.
Yun nga, if I can say lang ito, no? Share ko lang. Nung invite ako sa Senate hearing, I was asked by one of the senator ba yun? Ano raw masasabi
Si Kong
ko?
BH.
Tungkol dun sa LTMS. Sabi ko, if it's correctly and fully implemented, LTO would be one of the most digitally transformed agency in the country.
Sayang po itong LTMS. Sana pagtulong-tulungan natin with the help of the Ombudsman na i-correct to.
Andun na eh.
Nandun na.
Ayaw pa.
Di ba?
Okay.
Kasi fully integrated siya eh.
Yun po.
Okay. With that, we'd like to thank Mr. Bernard Yu, an IT consultant and tech executive we've known for so long
Thank
in
you.
this industry. And of course, Ms. Aida Yuvienco, formerly from
The ICT
DICT
and DepEd.
and DepEd, IT consultant as well. Maraming salamat po sa inyong dalawa.
Director.
Nung nandun siya sa DepEd, sa
DepEd.
DICT. Ngayon, IT consultant na lang.
Okay po, maraming pong salamat sa inyong oras sa pagpunta po rito sa TechSabado. And of course, we'd like to thank PLDT for the venue of our today's episode of TechSabado. And of course, our friends from Limang Siglo.
Thank you rin for inviting us. So, na-voice out namin yung frustration.
Yes, it's our
Pag
pleasure.
na-resolve, balik tayo ulit.
Oo, dapat
Well,
ma-resolve.
let's hope in the next 2 weeks may mangyari. Let's see.
Okay, ako po si Melvin Calimag ng Newsbytes.ph. Kita-kits ulit next week. Tito Tribs ko naman.
Raymond Tribdino po, Tito Tribs ng The Manila Times, cleantechnica.com at TechSabado. Tito G.
Yes, thank you, Sir Bernard Yu, and of course, Miss Aida Yuvienco. sa pag-guest po ninyo dito sa aming programa ngayong gabi. And Jing Garcia po ng TechSabado.com and of course the Manila Times. Bukas po, Sunday, Business IT sa Manila Times. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan. Nandun po tayo parate. Okay, until next week, TechSabado.